Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai. This is good. What are you guys doing there? Huh? Best of both worlds, huh? You know what happens very often is that we might feel like we're at the end of the spiritual journey or something like this, and yet it's still about me. Subtly, it's still about me. And that's why I say that this seeker identity always wants to end with the enlightened person identity. And as much as we like repeating, especially in Advaita, that I am nothing, I am nothing, I am whatever, it is still the I, which is still the personal I. It manages to find a way to stick around. And this is what we must inquire into. Is this still about finding something for the identity? Is there still a hope that one day the self that I discover will be somehow related to this identity that I have carried around? This inquiry is very important. What is all of this for? What is this for? Is there still an expectation that something must happen here? Is there still some looking for spiritual experiences? Who is all of this about? Is there a you which wants to take a hold of this awareness and say, I found the awareness. I am very clear about the awareness. I am very clear about the self. And as long as this I is still personal, if you still reinforce this I, this belief in the existence of an individual, then at best it is the spiritual ego and not the self which is saying, I found the awareness. But don't get me wrong. I don't want anyone to become like the Advaita police or something, going around telling everyone, who's the I? Who are you? Who wants lunch? It's not like that. Conversationally, we can still use these words, but are we still believing ourselves to be that? That never existed. If it is clear that no person exists right now, in this moment when you check for this one, you find that I find no person, then how could it ever have existed except as an idea? Therefore, it is all about the right nows. So the first part is to check the existence or verify the non-existence of this personal entity right now. Let's really do it. And if any of you feels that they found it, then don't hide. Say, I found it. This is what it looks like. And let's look at it together. Because the mind will say, oh, it still feels like there is a person here. But the feeling is not a person. You see. The feeling is just a feeling. It's a sensation. Or you might say, oh, my mind is still saying there might be a person. But that's another thought. It is not a person. Right here, right now, no person exists. Everyone with me? No person exists? Exists only. At this moment. Yes, yes. So it is clear, at least, that I am not it. If you don't know the hiding place of something, you see, then you can definitely not be it. So the person is only the identity that I have given myself. So the minute you say I can't find it, already it proves that you are not it. See, the person implies that I am an entity. That makes a person. So can we find this entity that I am presuming myself to be? See? So already when you say I can't find it, means what? You cannot be it. If you can't even find it, how can you be it? If you can't even find it, how can you be it? And already you say I can't find it. Therefore, there must be an I which is not it. These are not just, you see, sometimes it is said if you can't convince them, confuse them. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just simply looking and saying, cannot find the existence of this entity called a person. Therefore, the person cannot be what I am. Therefore, the ego or this identity is not me, and it relies only on the sense that it is me. Therefore, it doesn't exist. If the ego doesn't have the sense it is me, then it is not the ego anymore. Ego relies on the sense that it is me. So the minute you say I can't find it, it means already the identity is not there. Okay, so very good. So if this one you cannot find, if this one is not here, then with it must go all concept of personal problems, personal desires, and other person related stuff. If the person is not there, then all that the person wants and is averse to, likes and dislikes, plans about life, ambitions and goals, regrets and fears, pride and guilt, all this must go. Because who can they belong to? All these are personal, you see. So around one lie, it is said that you have to keep 100 lies to keep the one lie alive. So around the lie of a personal existence, we reinforce this one main lie with so many other lies about what we want, what we don't want, the way my life should go or not go, all these ideas. So you say right now, I cannot find the person. Therefore, at least till we find this person, can we keep all that the person wants aside or not? I'm not even saying forever, for you especially. At least till we find this person, can we keep all that the person wants aside or not? Yes, yes, we are, that is the next step. So we walk together over there. So at least till here we are together. As long as we don't find this entity called the person, let's at least keep all that is personal aside. And what does that mean? How to keep, because you should have asked, how do I do this? How do I keep all that is personal aside? I said very simply, let's keep all that is personal aside. I'll give you the simplest way. Right here, right now, there is no person. So how does something that is personal come up? How is it bought? Because the person has a messenger. It is selling you stuff that the person wants. This messenger is the mind. Without believing what the mind is saying, you cannot pick up any personal concept about yourself. It's as simple as that. Without believing what the mind is saying, you cannot do it. Therefore, to keep all that is personal aside, all that is needed is for us not to believe our thoughts. And then the thought itself will come and say, but that is too much. How can I not believe my thought? There are so many, so many. They come all the time. So therefore I say, okay, to keep it aside right now, just don't believe your next thought. Next, we can do. Even if it feels like effort, don't Advaita this too quickly. Because very quickly you come and say, oh, he just said there's no person here, who's there to do all of this? I'll demystify that for you. But for now, just know that even if it feels like work, even if it feels like a choice, if it feels like effort, then make the effort to not believe your next thought. And the thought itself will come and say, easier said than done. How am I supposed to live? All these are thoughts. And most of you will be able to just let most of them go. Not believing a thought does not mean that we are somehow resisting them. It only means that we are completely open, allowing them to come and go without giving them a paying guest room. Don't pay them your belief. I knew it. That's also a thought on it. Okay, so don't believe this one. Exactly. Exactly. So in the process of disbelieving, it dissolves. Why? Because it is made up only of beliefs. Therefore, that which is made up itself of beliefs cannot be the one who has the power of belief. There must be, if the power of belief is playing out in this realm, then there cannot be the non-existent basket of beliefs which is giving belief to something. It's just a basket of beliefs, just a basket of ideas. Can a basket of ideas give belief to something? Can it go to the shopping place and add some more to the basket? No. So what is that? What is that? So this is the second step. So first we found that no person exists, but that which gives belief must be here. Really? If it is possible to give belief or to withdraw belief, then that which gives belief or withdraws belief must be here. We already said that no person I can find. And yet, I am, I exist. So this I that exists is which one? Who's lost me? I can rewind and go slow. Who lost me? Lost me? Who lost me? Lost me? It's okay, but who lost me? In the handout. So we seem to be together in this. We found first that no entity called a person is here. Second, we found that that which convinces me of my personal existence is only my next thought. And we said that the way not to buy this personal idea is not to believe the next thought. Then the question that I was expecting, and now it's come from Lucia. She says, what if the belief has a strong momentum and goes out of control? What does this mean? It means that it feels like when the thought comes, it just has so much momentum that belief goes. So for these kind of thoughts, I call these the trump card thoughts, the ones that have been nourished with so much past belief that there is interest about them. So for these kind of thoughts, we must pull them into our inquiry. It's like the popular seeker thought is I'm almost free or I'm not there yet. When this thought comes, we can pull it into our inquiry and say, who is not free yet? Can we find such a one who is bound? And I've been saying recently that we must do this with full integrity and really look who is the one that is not free till it becomes a laughable idea. And once it becomes a laughable idea, then you find that belief doesn't seem to have the same kind of magnetism or momentum. And even these thoughts will come and go. Just this is the end of suffering. You cannot suffer without believing a thought. And the good news is it's never about what you believed in the past, even a second ago. It's only the next one. Because in every moment you start fresh. You are the self right now.
And is it possible? It seems like sometimes that it's possible to believe and not believe at the same time.
She said.
There's like something going on. And it's experienced, so it's like felt in a strong way or whatever. There's reaction. There's like, it can be, all of the elements can be involved, everything, emotions and physical and everything can be experienced. Yet, so it seems to be believed. Yet, there's no belief.
She says, is it possible for there to be the sense of believing and yet not believing? And then she further elaborated and said, what if all the emotional reactions are coming and all the responses are happening in the body, and yet I find that there is no belief?
It's bizarre. It's just like...
It's this sense of sensations in the body, they can appear just like thoughts can appear. Just like traffic on the road, any car can come next. You can't predict which the next car is going to be. Just in the same way as thoughts, any thought can come and go. Actually, in the same way, emotions are also completely free. Any emotion can come and go, only it seems to linger about a little bit more, and the mind tries to make a story about it. Say, because you believe this, this emotion came. Or because he did this, this emotion came. So this is the way in which this story plays out. And therefore we feel that So what is here now? Who is giving the belief or not? So although we said already that no person exists, we didn't really say that I don't exist. Only from a personal perspective we can say I don't exist. But who's even saying I don't exist? The one that wants, desires, that resists life, that plans life, that one doesn't exist. But if the truth is true, if the self is real, if God is real, then it must be here now. So we go from the personal sense that I don't exist to this sense as consciousness that only I exist. You see that only this that is here, this sense I am, only this exists. Everything else which is coming and going comes within this being that you are. All phenomenal powers belong to this one. Because only it is. What label we use for it doesn't really matter. Some prefer consciousness because there is some conditioning around the word God for them, and that's completely fine. Here there was no such conditioning, so I have no trouble saying God. Therefore, the power of belief must belong only to that which exists. It was never personal anyway. Therefore, this power of belief belongs to you, with you as your dynamic aspect called God or consciousness. So take a moment to settle into this one. God, or consciousness, is an aspect of the real I.
So the vastness that which has no reference.
Yes.
The point of reference.
You say that the vastness which had no reference then took a point of reference
Then the entity
to pretend to be an entity
to experience life.
to experience life,
Taste life.
to taste life in this seemingly,
Manifestation.
to taste this manifestation. Yes.
So it's playing. So our consciousness playing
Yes.
that which wasn't gone,
That which wasn't what? Wasn't personal.
wasn't personal on reference. To taste experiencing and said this is uh, then the point of reference came, the manifestation came, and identity came. I'm just trying to
Yes,
understand why talking.
It's very good.
And I'm playing this game.
And I'm playing this game.
God as I am, I'm playing this game.
God as I am, I'm playing this game. Yes.
And, I'm watching also.
And I'm watching also.
The awareness is aware of perceiving and perception is happening and that something is aware it.
Yes. So awareness is aware even of this play of being or God or consciousness.
And so the play goes on.
So the play goes on. So the only choice seems to be, if there is such a thing, to play as God, as consciousness, or to continue to play as person. And
Choice is to play as God, not to play as a person.
And how do we make this choice?
Not in, by allowing everything to flow without attaching an identity.
Yes. So to play as God, we allow everything to flow without attaching any identity to it. And how can we attach identity to it? There is only one way to attach identity. There's only one way to identify.
And we
Yes, to
believe,
pretend. To pretend how? To believe.
believe the thought construct.
Believe the thought construct. That's it. So already you took us to the next step, which is, so we were here where we said, this I am, that I am, is God's voice. I am that I am. Only seeming choice is God playing as person, or God playing as God himself, or herself. That's why I say, if you want to see God pretending to be a person, believe your next thought. If you see God just being God, then don't believe your next thought. Then you say, but even this, there is a witnessing of, I am aware even of this. That which can be aware even of God, of being, also arises and dissolves within this awareness itself. Comes from and goes back in this awareness itself. Therefore, in the old Sufi story, when it is said, when someone asks, are you God? And the Sufi master said, or the fakir, he said, higher than that. This is what that from which even God comes and goes back into. That you are. Therefore, the end of suffering is the not believing the next thought. The discovery of my God presence, or the discovery of myself as consciousness, is asking the question, can I stop being now? And you find that your presence is here, you cannot stop. And to find the absolute, the true self that remains, the I that remains, we check on who is aware even of this being. Or we simply ask the question, am I aware now? In this is the entire seeming spiritual journey. No matter which path you follow, which teacher you go to, how many years you take, irrespective of any of that, the three steps, the seeming three steps of this so-called spiritual journey are just these. The dissolution of the person idea, the discovery that this being, consciousness, Atma, God is what I am, and then the discovery that I and that awareness, which is aware even of this consciousness. Most spiritual paths and spiritual practices help you with this step one, how not to go along with your thoughts. Some will teach you mindfulness and say, keep your attention on the content of this present moment so that the attention doesn't go to the thought. Some will say, do japa. What happens with japa? The mind, you create these energies with the mantras and keep your attention only on that. So again, attention doesn't go to these thoughts. Selfless service, keep yourself completely occupied and not think about the outcome or the future, what's going on. Karma yoga, hatha yoga, pranayam, how to keep the mind still and quiet. So all about the dissolution of the person entity. So that why? Because through all these so-called methods, our attention is not going on thoughts. But I find belief so much easier to deal with. So this is clear. The dissolution of the person entity is the simplest because no person entity ever existed in the first place. So it's only the dissolution of an idea. To dissolve that which is only an idea. It's very simple if we stop believing it. And it's impossible if we keep believing. Yes, some alertness is necessary just to check. Because when I'm saying, can we check if there's a person now, and it's just like a lethargic checking, you're not really checking. This is like little bit of attention, little bit of alertness, just to check. Who am I? Otherwise, it just remains mental. But all of it, including this, whether it happens this way or not, is all ultimately part of the play, isn't it? That God Himself is playing. All of it, the entire process of getting deluded and pretending to play as the person, and the freedom from delusion coming into this rehab for God Himself called Satsang, which God Himself is doing, is also God's play. So, who are the instructions for in Satsang? Just consciousness having a monologue. It's all part of the Leela.
Sometimes in a state of meditation, it's very easy to see thoughts.
Then the state of
When it's a state of satsang or meditation,
yeah.
it's coming. It's personal sense. It's not easy. Sometimes it feels like the ego distorts our actual perception when our eyes are functioning. It's like we're just seeing, but it distorts and creates persons. It's like it's more subtle. It's harder to see that we're believing the thought despite our perception. We think we're perceiving through this distorted lens.
It can seem like that. She says that sometimes the ego distorts this whole field, energetic field, this realm, where things become all cloudy and mixed up, and we are not perceiving clearly, and all these things are happening. Okay, don't worry about those. The rest, at least, is fine.
I don't actually mean like, oh, it's cloudy. It's just
Yeah.
we're, I think it's similar to what someone said. Ego is behind. It's like we perceiving something, but we're not perceiving it neutrally or as it really is. We're perceiving it personally all the time.
So what happens when it feels like this? Let's look at it, because I looked at this and I realized that actually it is not the perception that changed. We're looking. Now the first thing that happens is that when you try to look at two things at one time, then one of them at least starts to get blurry. So if you try to look at this one, look at the table, and bring your attention to a thought that you're having, you find that this table starts to seem blurry. You cannot really focus on both at the same time because attention is limited. So, so when concurrently thoughts are going and there's interest and belief in them, then it seems like this outer world is not as clear as it should be, or something. What is this thought that usually accompanies us? It's a very subtle what's in it for me. When we're looking also, what's in it for me? It's become like a habit like this. So this thought, kind of subtle thought activity can go on, and the so-called perceiving of the world can go on. So it seems like a bit confused, very fast. It seems like things move too fast without us being able to react. But once you come to this place and you say, I'm not going to believe my next thought, then you find that either it becomes much more quiet or suddenly the mind is throwing a lot of stuff at you. But if you just stay with it and you say, okay, bring it on, give me everything that you have, you find that it brings, and as we are open, not resisting, it starts to just go like this. And our sensory perception seems to become cleaner because it's not colored so much by what's in it for me. I should only focus on those things where something I can get personally. So this becomes it's like this. So that's why sages seem to have much more time. They seem to have much more time. It's just like because it flows so like this. It's not constantly trying to deal with the mental voice. Okay, what are you saying? Also, so when I'm with you, then I'm with you. I'm not with the mind and you. That's why it seems like there's so much attention which can be given to the content of this movie. When you're not trying to juggle both this voice which is speaking inside and with the conversation that we could be having. That's why it can be that many times you find that the questioner is getting very muddled up. The teacher is just sitting there. Okay. Like this because you divested so much that it's not really taking much attention, much interest. So this in this way it gets clearer and clearer. But that's why I said that even if it seems like effort initially, like Guruji says, if it feels like effort to keep the heavy bags down, still do it. Because you're actually getting rid of the effort. And then you will say, of course, that because that I did was all grace. Because it is the not believing of thoughts which is the dissolution of the person identity. And then it is seen that all was God's doing anyway. So that's why Bhagwan said, if you still feel like you have a choice about something, then make a choice not to go along with the stream of thoughts. And then ultimately you will say that even this is only grace. He says, make that choice. As long as there's a sense of, I have some choice. You see, because very conveniently otherwise we come to satsang and we say, but I have no choice, I'm not the doer. But in the rest of the life we still live as people making choices, making decisions. Okay?
This is intense experience in this at the moment. And it seems to have a cost to it as well.
So all this experiencing can happen as long as we are not buying the subtitles of this experience, which is the interpretive voice. It's all good.
The subtitles are going by.
Yes, they have to go. They will.
And kind of interesting, getting a bit of attention. And like there seems to be something that needs to be done about all of that. So a bit of belief is going there.
But she
Yeah.
says that strong experiences are coming, and the subtitles from the mind are also coming, and I can see that some attention is also going, and it's selling me the story that something needs to be done about it, and that's why some belief is going.
So, but there's also this kind of leaning back and enjoying the show.
There's also this leaning back and enjoying the show.
Even though it's not a pretty scene, it's not like what somebody would consider enjoyable.
Even though it's not something which is sublime or beautiful.
So yeah, there's the knowing too that it'll all work out and go the way it goes. Nothing. I can't do it. There's no possibility of changing the scenario.
And anytime it tries to tell you the story that I must do something about it or I can do anything about it, pull that into your inquiry and say, who is this I that should or could?
There's a knowing that there's not.
There's a knowing that there is no such I.
Yet the experience is strong and it's felt in many ways, not just emotional and physical. It's physical.
Yes.
It's the things that are happening are physical.
Yes. So, and yet the experience or the sensations can seem to be strong because not only emotionally are they appearing, they are also appearing physically.
Yet they're not really happening to the eye that's noticing.
And yet they're not really happening, I would say not at all happening
Well,
to
they
the
might
eye.
seem to be
Yes,
happening,
only
but
seem.
they really aren't. So,
Yes.
but the reactions also happen.
The reactions also happen. Yes.
So, like earlier, from memory, there was swearing.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You told me this once before.
And like, I did enjoy it.
So unshanti like.
Yeah. It feels really good, but only when I'm alone.
Because I swear when I'm alone, and it feels really good.
So, but that's a reaction to.
Yeah.
So that's happening.
Yes. Yes. That's why to see that who is doing this.
There's nobody doing it.
There is nobody. There is no entity which is doing this or experiencing this. There is only consciousness which is the one doer and the one experiencer of all of this.
And it's laughable.
It's laughable.
Yet if I explained what was going on, there would be like, oh, that's terrible.
Yes.
Whatever, you know? Oh. So, I'm grateful to this. This is like perspective that can't be shaken.
This perspective can't be shaken. All other beliefs can be shaken. But the truth cannot be shaken because it is always true.
Shaking's happening.
Shaking is happening within it.
Within it.
Yes. The appearance of shaking is happening within it. We'll come to Aparna with some questions online also. I've not taken online questions for many weeks. Maybe we should. Prachi says, if this is all a dream, then would satsang help in awakening since it is also happening in a dream? Then she says, I suffer from mood disorder and my mind is never calm. Would this deter me from realizing my true nature? Your true nature is here right now. Before the mood can have a disorder or change moods, or the mind can come and tell you about something, you are already here. Something can be a deterrent only if you had to get somewhere. You see. But because you are already here, you are already the truth. Nothing can deter you. Before all of this, before this mood comes, the layer called moods, before the thoughts, before emotions, before the body, you are. Before it is your mood, your body, your thoughts, your emotions, this I is already here and is already true. This is the truth which cannot be deterred. Therefore, the self inquiry can work irrespective of what the circumstances of life are, what emotional states are going on. As long as there is an urge to find the truths, then nothing can deter you from seeing what you are right now. Because you are it already. Or is the switch over time? Is there a queue anyway? So if you switch out and you find that there are still spaces after a couple of minutes, you can come back in. And if some of you, any of you have questions, you can stay back and ask. So this seeing that I don't exist personally, this is clear for all of you. And the only voice which convinces you that you are a person is the mind, is thoughts. This much is clear. Then to see that the presence is here, being is here, I amness is here. This much is clear. Who's not clear about being? All clear. I'm clear but not crystal clear. You're hiding something that is distorting. Yeah. Yeah. But let's look for it now. Yeah. Yeah. So how will this thought come? I'm not free yet, or I'm not clear. How will this thought appear? Okay, let's wait. Is it like a voice? Is it like words? Is it like just felt like these words are here? Just felt like sensation?
It's like really subtle, and that's I can't catch it.
And yet you do, because you report this was the thought. So now, no thought. Now let's wait for the next one.
Is there the thought like you're looking at me, you know? Like
Is that a thought or is this you're just seeing this?
seeing
You're seeing that I'm looking at you. Okay, then let's wait for the thought.
the thought is takes the experience and perceiving and distorts it and makes it personal.
This is the thought.
Yeah, but it's not like a clear thought. It's very subtle.
But it will still want to be visible to you so that you can hear it. So we must keep looking for it like this. When we keep looking like this, then you see that it's nothing but an energy construct which appears in different ways for different beings, and yet it wants to be heard, wants to be seen or heard, whatever it wants. And it cannot really distort anything if we are just openly checking or something, then it can seem to create some sense of confusion, distortion. It can seem like because between outside and I'm looking at these thoughts, then that can appear like a distortion. But I said that because attention is limited, then that's why many will report that I was just lost in my thoughts. I didn't know what was going on. The attention was all here in the mental zone rather than the phenomenal zone, outward zone.
It's like the switching back and forth.
That's what
Perceiving, starting it, perceiving. So I see it's like this is the normal way of perceiving everything. So it's like the assumption is I'm a person in this world.
That's what every thought is telling to you.
Yes.
But before buying that, what are you? Right now.
I'm just perceiving
Yes.
everything.
So you are the perceiving of everything. And even when these thoughts are bought, do you become something else? So even though the content changes, can seem blurry, can seem confused, but and yet nothing happened to the perceiving. So say again what your first point was. That I'm seeing, that I'm not seeing clearly.
Well,
I'm clear.
I think you helped me realize that I intend, I realize that that's where some of the attention that I was able to see that I'm perceiving and then filtering like, and it's happening so quickly or so subconsciously that I wasn't able to see it. Since my attention can really only be on one thing, it's just
online who is not clear about being or consciousness. It's clear, I am being, I am that I am. You can speak with God's voice. It's not arrogance. If you're not buying a thought about yourself and you see that I am, then already you've crossed the realm of ego identification. There is a recognition of this in this instant. This doesn't necessarily mean that all drop. But as we keep coming to satsang, you will find that all the ideas that we held about ourselves are dissolving, are getting burnt. All of this is happening in satsang. And soon you find that I can make no conclusion about myself. With no conviction can you say things like, I am a man, I have this problem, this is the way I want my life to go. All these words will lose their power. So Batima says, it's clear for short periods of time. Yes, this clarity comes like this, in an instant. The recognition is there. But this recognition is very useful to drop these ideas that we have had about ourselves. And more these ideas are being dropped. As long as you're not picking up new spiritual ones and attaching them to the person, then the process of deconditioning, coming to this unassociated being, is happening. But if you're attaching to new ideas about the person, then deconditioning, new conditioning, deconditioning, new conditioning, and that's how the seeming spiritual journey can go on for a long time. Don't buy any idea about yourself, not even the best spiritual idea. You will find that you find it next to impossible to resist life. It will be impossible for you to say, this is the only way I want things to go. And you will find it very difficult to say, I am suffering because this appearance is coming in front of me.
Seeker identity survives is a very unusual.
He says, for me, the seeker identity survives in an unusual way.
Just for quotes that are really good out of the way and saying, tap, you're back to doing nothing else before.
Is to look for some spiritual quotes which are really strong and to say, okay, that really now has an impact of me like nothing before. This is a life-changing event. Yes, yes. Especially stories from the past about how the great sages of the past responded to particular situations. And she says, I'm not able to find my way out of it. Are you suffering because of it? I'm not suffering. The seeker identity can be great suffering when it finds that it is not ending up as an enlightened person. That is the only, well, main button which can be pushed. There are many who come to satsang who fight about this. I got it, you didn't get it. How can you say I didn't get it? You see, you didn't get it. Maybe you have to look. These kinds of things. So the seeker identity is very frustrated when it has this sense that it still hasn't got it. And also it's very frustrated when it has the sense that I got it.
This is one of your quotes you already
Yeah.
addressed.
This one of my quotes had already sorted. Which one was that?
What is being for is the person.
Yes. Yes. If it's just very light and you find joy in looking at the beautiful words of the sages, then no trouble in that. Now, which identity does cause trouble? The sense that I am a person sitting in front of a, in the middle of a huge unresolved mess. Where is this person?
Actually, it's not
Yes.
the habits and the words are all like you don't say like this way. It's just being responding like that. Because any other tactic adopted like say as being from a sense of truth and too much relaxation, then after that it gets to me that if I'm too relaxed, I can't let go.
I You see, it subtly comes in like this. I see there is no person, but I see when I become too relaxed and speak from this place of truth, and people they start taking advantage of me, and I realize that I can't really let go. Back again, back again. Who is this I? So it's neither the letting go nor the holding on. The neutrality, the pure witnessing of that which is appearing, either the this or that end of the spectrum. You see, so it told you the story that you can't really let go, because when you let go, then everybody's taking you for a ride. And nothing is getting resolved. Only you are dissolving. Oh, you are dissolving, so what's the big deal? But your life is still a mess. And it sold the idea of you back to you.
Actually, about the song, I'm feeling so.
And I must say sorry to everyone who's watching, because a mic, we had some mic in Thiru. We don't have it yet here, but in a couple of days we'll have. So till then, I'm repeating as much as I can, but sometimes it's too much to repeat.
So happy about this perception of dissolution. And I was like aware that identity itself is happy about his own dissolution as a supplier.
Some joy can accompany this sense of dissolution, and sometimes of some fear can accompany it also.
Because only it's not, I want to feel this also, see also what's your attention as a person. But I perceive it another level, it's so much attention, it's happiness.
Very good.
So happy.
Okay, Nitya wants to come. Very good, she can come.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Can you hear me? I have
Yes,
some
yes, yes.
difficulties here. Okay. Um, there was just the feeling to expose something because it's coming up again and again, and there was something wanted to run away of it, you know. So I just want to say, um, yesterday I had a meeting and with a friend and her daughter, and um,
A meeting what? After
a
meeting what?
meeting with a friend and her daughter, and so and this daughter, you know, she's really challenging. She's was challenging for me.
Challenge.
And during listening to you right now, I just realized that I have still not still these strong beliefs which are here, which I give so much interest of how she should be, and all this stuff. And this is really always not only with her, but always strong things. You know, I know so much. You know, this one knows so much how something. I just felt to say it, and I just felt now in Satsang, I just felt how much interest is still here for these kind of stuff, you know, this kind of stuff, and it was so great to see it, and I just want to say it, and yeah, that's already everything. That's all gone. Yeah. Thank you.
Very. Life is so beautiful that it is always showing us what is still left seemingly in denial. So it brings it to us, and when we want to play personally, then everything that comes up in life can be used to perpetuate this personal idea. We can take it personally, everything that appears. And we want to be free from this person infection, then everything that appears can be used to inquire, just to see. See, so this kind of switching happens when we are looking at everything which is appearing on the seeming outside to check for what is still here as a belief inside. And in this, all our conditions are dropping. Also, once I shared with all of you, there was this dream also, something similar, where we were sitting at this table only. In the dream, I was sharing satsang, and this mother came with a child. And this mother came with the child, and I was looking at the mother, and then I saw that I shared with you also that I saw that this child is looking here in Satsang with a lot of openness. Looking at her, something was going here, saying in the dream all this happened. Saying this little child, she's interested in Satsang, and she's open. Okay, and she was looking like this, like this, like this. I'm saying, oh, she's really open. She's really open. Maybe some, transmission, energetic transmission will happen from here. Like this, these thoughts were coming. And maybe she'll be open enough to take the energy which is on offer here or something like this. And what happened is I kept looking at her, and actually what happened is the transmission the other way. You see, the transmission happened the other way where I found something. Like that. It was really strong. In a dream all this happened. And later I was feeling like I had the darshan of Anandamayi Ma or something like this as a child. But it shows arrogance, you see, the arrogance which is still operating here that I am. Was she open enough to get transmission from here or something like these ideas, you see? So life, also dream life, it shows you what still needs to be looked at, what ideas might be subtly getting bought. It's very beautiful to be open to life like this. And maybe never be closed. That I know and another doesn't know. And let me help that one. See, it's very egoistic. The transmission must happen from here to there. Just ideas. There is no giver or taker, yet in this realm it seems like it flows from a higher plane to a low plane. It comes to a equalization. More from an unassociated space of being, which is what is the point of it? It's just to help you dissolve the rest of the condition. It's a natural flow. I can't believe I'm talking on this.
Do you lose anything?
No, not like this. No. It's a good question. It can be that I've said also that only when I seem to confront a very strong variation of the spiritual ego, which is just comes with that very strong ego energy and some thing like that, then the body also feels tired after that interaction. So, but otherwise,
It would be just consciousness assisting.
yes, it's a.
It used to love the being beneath the spiritual execution.
Yes, there's complete, not even love, just this seeing that God is here. This oneness is so clear, and yet the way it plays out necessarily from here doesn't mean that I must want to be in their company all the time. Something doesn't say, okay, give them some space. There's no set template to how it must operate. But in the heart, I don't feel resentment or something. Because I know it happened here also. So I cannot really judge in that way. Shanti ji is here. So much love to you, my dear. She's hoping that the exposing of the illness and falling back into egoic sense of egoic state, exposing of that will be helpful. It's always very helpful, especially when you can come into a open forum like this with the Sangha with no sense of self-image and you can come and share. It's always helpful. Dana says, Anantaji, would you say enlightenment is for the person? I hear this a lot in Buddhism. If there is no entity, then who is this one becoming enlightened? Enlightenment is not for the person. It is enlightenment from the person. Freedom from the person idea. No person has ever been enlightened because no person has ever really existed. Actually, in that way, we can say that nothing has ever happened to a person. And nothing has ever happened to consciousness either. Therefore, nothing has ever happened. Person doesn't exist, therefore nothing has happened to it. Nothing can happen or affect consciousness. Being is just being. Therefore, that something happened is just an idea. Or something is happening to me is just an idea. You can say that appearances are appearing, but they are not happening to me. And all of this is your experience now, isn't it? It's not just words. Because the feeling here is not to just speak about these things. Just I feel like when you check, this is your own direct experience.
You say a little bit about fear of death because things feel like they're naturally just fearing that. That makes it feel like I'm only experiencing this body or other body. And I know it's talked about a lot, but
We can look together, it's good. So he says, can we look at the fear of death? Because I feel that all experiencing is happening to the body. And who is experiencing the body? It's not a theoretical question. You can check. How is the body experienced? How do you know there's a body? One is visually you see.
yeah,
Any other?
you know it's there.
Some sensations are there of the
Yeah,
body. No?
yeah.
So some these sensations and these visuals. Anything else?
I feel like it's me. It's a feeling.
Yes, yes.
Like a,
So this me is experiencing the sensations and is experiencing the visuals of the body. Is it me which is experiencing the sensations of the body, or somebody else is experiencing
the same one.
the same one? Now this sound which is coming from here, is it not the same one who is hearing this also?
Yeah,
Same one. Everything that is perceived, is it not the same one? The same one. So these energies and the energies of the body are also experienced by the same one. Then you find that this one actually is the being that we speak about. All this experience happens in the waking state and the dream state, in the presence of being, within being. You say, where is it experienced? Here. I experience it here. You say like that here. Where the body also experience here. Right? So within this space, where the body is experienced, these outward seeming experiences are experienced. How much space is there within this? What are the boundaries of this experiencing space?
it's like there's no boundary. Because the wall, like it's a wall, I feel like has a boundary.
But that is
But
also
that doesn't feel
experience.
like that anything ends there.
Yeah, that is also experience within you. The walls are experience within you.
And that sounds more like
No, don't think about it. That's why you have to check for it. If you think about it, then you create a mental image of it.
yeah.
Where is that wall being experienced? Yeah.
So it's
Stay
kind of
with
like
this, and we're not in a rush. Stay with this. Even if you spend 5 years on this, is good enough. Because this is the discovery of the infiniteness of your being. And you will never be able to say again that I suffered from anything at all. Because this being is not suffering from anything which is appearing. Sensations can come, grief can come, fear can come, anger can come. All of this within the same space of being is experienced. But it never runs out of space. It is the boundaryless sense of existence. And so I say that if it was not just about you, suppose they were all of us really existed, and if all of our suffering was experienced over there, you would still not run out of space. If 6 or 7 billion of us actually existed and they had real suffering and it was experienced inside the space of your being, it would still not run out of space. So these measly things that happen with us, just because they're wiggling about a lot, it seems like, oh, this is happening to me, so much is happening. But when you just check, what is happening to the space within which they are appearing? Nothing is happening. No sensation, no emotion, no thought, no feeling, no physical pain can actually be suffered. And only an idea of it is suffered. It is experienced, but not suffered. That's why Maharaj said that you're not experiencing suffering, you are suffering your experiencing. Which means what? You're buying the interpretations about it, the mental interpretations about it, which makes a suffering out of it, a sufferer out of you. The, the one in which this entire universe is playing, it tries to make a sufferer out of that one.
But then that means that your interpretation is your own self. Right?
I don't need any interpretation because I can rely just on my seeing. An interpretation is needed when the seeing cannot be relied on. Somebody is saying, okay, this is what you're looking at now. This is what. But I don't need that help. It's clear what is being seen.
I feel like the self-centering is part, it's not part of life, but we have to give so much importance because to God to express itself needs to create inside by it, so inside you of a part, and there are some suffering.
Yes, yes.
It happens what like us with feel the desire of internal, but it's something that we have a lot of judgment about. It's like we can see it perhaps what I'm feeling now and it's part. Must allow it us.
Pain. Pain is a very natural part of life. A rising of grief, a rising of anger, a rising of hunger, a rising of lust. All these are very natural part of life. The After belief in the identity is gone, after belief that I am a person is gone, now suffering seems very unnatural. Like it seems like you have to do a lot of effort, take a lot of pain to suffer. You have to believe yourself to be something which is so unbelievable that I am a person is such a ludicrous concept. There is nothing I can do to become a person. Even to pretend to be a person is so difficult.
So suffering
Therefore, therefore, pain is very natural. Grief, anger, all these emotions are very natural. But suffering means that there is a sufferer, not just the pure experience of what is happening. Suffering is more because of B grade emotions, as I call them, which is just emotion mixed up with identity, like guilt, regret, remorse, pride, these kind of things. These kind of things cause suffering. In the moment when pain is experienced, we don't really call it suffering. We see that it's here, pain is here. When we bring a personal I into it, then that becomes suffering.
As the person, this such so tightly constricted worldly entity is falling away and is just seen as just thought-based completely. And any sense of separation isn't there without thoughts. But the imprint of the thoughts it seems to be thinning away, so the experience is less divided. And particularly with other beings, I've noticed that it's obvious that unless this thought, Adam thought, is picked up, then whichever form appears is of exactly the same nature as I am. And so there really is this really beautiful sense of oneness, which is just flowering. At the same time, I can also feel a connection with these individual beings that seems to be deeper somehow, or older, or somehow higher than the personal body-based worldly. And I can see that that is actually quite fertile ground for new concepts to come about some higher or older or past lives or whatever it is. I can't really put a word to it. But I just want to offer that up as well, because I don't want anything to stand in the way of the truth, which I can see, which is just that oneness.
This is very beautiful what you say, because sometimes we come into this sangha, or we meet new people in satsang, or something happens, and we feel like, oh, I can really connect with these. And it can seem like there are just some connections where you can do nothing about. It just appears. The connection is there. It's not like you created it or didn't create it, so there's no resisting with any of that. But we must be a little bit vigilant to whether the person itself is taking hold of these and trying to say, okay, now you're finding your heavenly state as a person, and you're surrounded by best people, angelic almost, like this kind of thing. So you find that as you keep coming to satsang, even these will get dissolved or burned. And also you find that it happens many times that in satsang a lot of new relationships get formed. You find that many times new relationships are being formed in satsang. Sometimes it is like the ego's last stand or something, saying that oh, this must be my master's gift to me. I found the perfect man, a perfect woman. What a blessing! But master never said that he's giving you such a gift. It is the mind itself which can take these kind of personal things on. And many times it is seen that even these relationships didn't turn out to be what the mind had promised initially. Sometimes you come across a very auspicious relationship. What is an auspicious relationship? Where the idea of the relationship is actually just incidental. There's complete sense of space and freedom. There's no expectation on the other to change or to be a certain way. There's no judgment about each other's spiritual progress. You're truly just enjoying the joy which is appearing in the presence. So these kind of ones can come. But many times this relationship thing can come as a distraction. Just when you're discovering the truth of what you are, there's another, I would rather walk with this journey together with this one. He's so amazing, she's so amazing. But this one actually cannot be walked together. You can give that blessing that may you always walk together toward the truth. But actually, this one you have to. What was it, Papaji, who said that you cannot even take your beloved into your dream. Even your beloved, you have to leave behind. So this discovery of the self can be supported by the Sangha, it can be supported by relationships around you. It cannot be done as a tag team, actually, as a group activity. It's only in support of this. So the inquiry cannot be done by somebody else for you. That insight will not be got for you. And so this is clear. Then you find something which is appearing and you say, I really feel at home, this is so comfortable and peaceful, supportive of what I'm really looking for, then that is helpful. From here, I've always said, and it sounds very cruel many times, maybe I should change this. But I've always said, I bless relationships and breakups equally. Because everything is grace, ultimately. And there can be great play that happens, joy can come like this in both. The getting together and the separating, seemingly so. But ultimately, it is about none of that. It is just in the simple finding out who I am in the right now, prior to any other appearance. This doesn't mean that the play of life will stop. Really. But if there's an idea that I need this play to happen in this way to get to my freedom, that is freedom. Freedom is here now. Truth is here now.
Yeah, I can see how the mind comes with that sometimes about how yeah, just even trying to interpret the grace and majesty of everything that's unfolding. I do also feel like a deep reverence and gratitude for the play, because I can see that the play is always, as you say, showing me, it's just holding mirrors everywhere. And when I say an invitation, I mean that it always feels that life, including all beings, is doesn't have a time scale. You know, it's like it's if there is anything for this one to do, it's just to see what it's. I don't want to say be open or be more open like a doer, but more just like there's a feeling sometimes of where I can feel there's some stickiness,
Yeah.
and just by looking at it and bringing it into the inquiry and saying, okay, so what is this and why is it, and actually also without the label of the mind, I've seen any emotion or any like even a sense of fear or is really just a movement of consciousness, usually in the body.
Seemingly experienced in the body.
Yeah, seemingly experienced in the body. And so in that seeing, not that I'm being more open, but it just seems like there's more space because the power of the punch is just diminished. It's just
This is very good. In this openness, then we are not concerned about which emotion is coming next. We like remember when we were sitting, where were we sitting? And at one point you said to me, a lot of anger and fear is going to come, okay, and like this. Yeah, okay. Then he just started laughing, saying, he's just not worried.
I was thinking, oh no, like, what's going to happen? And I looked up and you were just like, when you're ready.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, give me what you got. Then this one came, Aparna came like this, she's looking. He's giving me the tiger stare. On the hot seat, she's like this. Like that. I don't know whether the rest of them could see, but I could see this. Okay. And then I just started laughing.
Yeah, the main thing was just to say that like there is full gratitude for all of this incredible play, which does have a sense of deepening and of more truth, but at the same time, please don't let me ever get caught in that and ever form a thought of, oh, this is how it is and this is what it means, because I can see that that's always waiting to jump in.
Well, ever actually is also a trap, I must say. It's a beautiful prayer, but don't let me ever fall in is also a trap. You can say, don't let me fall in for too long. Because everyone falls in once in a while. It's much lighter than that. And it's a bit of a contract actually. The deal is that you keep coming to Satsang, and I don't let you fall in for too because it can be that, because I'm speaking from the level at this level. Of course, we're not saying who the doer and all of that, because we're not confusing two different levels. So if there's a deal like this that I must take care of you in this way, as Ananta say, okay, I'm not going to let you fall into any of these traps, then as Ananta, I must also say, that you make sure you are in Satsang. Actually, in Satsang here also, you'll find that many times I'll just pick on you and say, so what's going on with you? I want to hear from you. Say something. Actually, Fridays also we have, where Fridays the Sangha only shares. And I also a few times pretended to be the questioner and come and said, so this is happening to me. So like this. So I keep checking on you in various ways. Late on Friday. We can keep switching. Maybe sometimes Wednesdays. Yeah? Time limit for? Oh, okay, remind me. Yeah. She's saying, no, it can't be 1 o'clock. And someone saying, when is this going to end? How much this guy can talk? It really doesn't end on time anyway. Actually, many who are here in Satsang today, I'm not met. I want to just invite them to come up and say hello and tell me how they're doing. You can come one by one. Dennis and Shivani. Unmute your mics. Don't be shy. Allow us to tease you like this also.
Hi, fella.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Hello. I didn't hear what you said. What did you say? Hello. Hello. I can't see. Hello.
So what's happening with you guys?
Sorry. Say that again.
You said
I'm having
what?
internet. What's happening? What's happening? Nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing.
You're eating a lot?
No.
Not doing much.
Yeah. Next question.
Haven't fought yet.
The connection's a bit bad, Father. So.
Watch.
Happy to meet you
It's
both
all
again.
good. Everything's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Father, it's like what you said about like the mind's not like the mind's plan of what a relationship is about. This isn't actually what it's about. It's a bit like that. I'm noticing anyway. I think he's noticing too, maybe.
Yeah.
It's nothing like what the mind wants, actually.
It happens what happens. Just that.
yeah, feels like that.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Bit of a delay.
I actually never realized when these relationships are getting created. Now only later I come to know. Okay, this. There's some new ones that you'll come to know about soon. Just hold on. Hold on. At least one.
Awesome. Good.
Okay, my love.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, wait, I was mute.
Yeah.
Now what's happening in Thiru? I see Nelly, Pichuri,
Hello. Hi.
Diana.
Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Pichuri, you're giving some news to all of us or no?
Are you giving some news? Some news? You have news for us?
Yes. In a full Indian headship. Where is Amba hiding? You all coming here or what? Are you going to be coming here or just enjoying the best
Soon.
of both worlds? Soon? Yes.
You.
I think everybody here is coming to Bangalore. Maybe at different time. Well, yeah, everyone is coming.
Great. We have a new one in Satsang. The name is Satish.
That's my dad.
You're all good, my dear.
It's all okay.
Ras-
Even if it seems not okay, it's okay.
Oh, okay. When are you coming back to Bangalore?
I leave on Saturday.
That-
Be back next week. I just something that's coming up. I'm just going to close the door because music's playing outside. So just hold on. So it's just with whatever is like moving here. I have no idea what's going on, but it was just like, at least for the moment, it really feels clear that this fear that, my God, I'm going to leave satsang, or I'm not here for the truth, and all the games that the mind was playing was seen as not true. Even if it still plays, it's that fear for now is gone. Like, and I can see it still uses the trap of falling into personhood, and it plays that way. But okay. And something that I saw last night was it's again another report, Father. So it's okay. Just forget it. It's just the more I check, the louder the mind gets. Like once it's seen that, and like it felt like a more wanting to check that I am this awareness, and there is no I in the awareness separate from myself. Like there is just me as awareness, and just something relaxes completely into it, and then you wake up in the morning with the mind completely like, oh my God, you're identified again, and so the whole that story goes on, but like a deeper knowing in the heart that this is not true. So it's okay. I have no idea. It's crazy sometimes. Just happy that there's satsang. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, my dear. See you soon.
Yes.
You already heard from good, good, good.
Hello, Father.
Hans. Hello, my dear.
Hello. Well, what to say? I'm fine and I'm not fine. So a lot is happening here and going on. A lot of agitation, and I've been listening to all the satsangs with you and with Guruji, and yes, I'm a bit puzzled.
Yes.
Yes, and this inquiring is working. Sometimes it's working, and sometimes it's not at all. So yes.
So what is?
I'm very happy you're back again in with these satsangs, and I need you a lot.
So this puzzle is about what? This contradiction is about what?
It's I lose my I get lost, totally lost sometimes, and sometimes, especially during the satsangs with you and from Tiru and with Muji, it was, everything was so clear, and it was so great, and grace was here, and it's you know, ups and downs are much, it's deeper and it's higher now at the same time. So a lot is happening here. But it feels so, you know, this is so much of my life right now, because I'm almost getting, I isolate myself, and looking a lot of on you and these satsangs, and yes, somehow I there is a fear I'm getting. I lose myself somehow, and I know what it's all about, and I'm watching it, and it's fearful, and I'm scared, but at the same time I have such a faith and in you and in all what's happening. So all is good, actually.
Actually, you cannot lose yourself.
I know.
Maybe
I
that
know.
is not you can be lost.
Yes. But you know, sometimes the identification with my person is so strong. So I can't see anything else. I know it's false. I know it's so very well by my mind, but the feeling, the experience is something else at that time. And I get so trapped in this. But it's working. And there is a longing to come to be together with you or with Guruji and stay to get established in this. I have you know, because I'm floating around, and I have to be around with people and around in an environment with these kind of people. and this kind of awareness and yes. So it will come.
You know, this last couple of months, I've been speaking a lot about this one, the one who is constantly evaluating our spiritual progress.
Hello? I lost you.
And I've been actually saying that this one.
Father, I lost you for the last moment, so I didn't hear.
Okay. What I'm saying is that for the past couple of months, I've been speaking self-evaluator, this checker, who is checking every day, how is my spiritual progress this morning? How am I doing right now? How free am I today? And constantly making this report, you see. And this one I have been calling my arch nemesis. You know, arch nemesis, like the big enemy of satsang. Not really, but just as a joke. You see?
Yeah.
Because I find that many of you hold on to this thermometer and taking your temperature, your spiritual temperature, so often. And then you don't like the report. Sometimes you like the report, but mostly you don't like the report. So that's why I've been saying that we must drop this thermometer. It is not in service to us. We must not check on our spiritual progress because there is no spiritual progress actually. You are already that.
Yes.
Now what is happening is that if there can be said to be some progress, it is the dropping of the conditioning. All the personal conditioning is being dissolved in satsang, but the checking on how much is being dissolved and how much is still there, that adds to more conditioning actually.
This is very true.
So we must not be concerned by any of this. And as you say that you want to be in satsang, then satsang is taking care of all of this actually. So all your thermometers, all your checking, you must give to me now. I accept no donations, but I accept all your thermometers. And I emphasize on this because it is important. You see, because many in the Sangha, they get used to just constantly measuring their state. And it's very tiring actually. Because if I was to wake up every morning or 5 times a day, check how free am I right now, which emotion is coming, which sensation is going, is this joy, is this bliss, or is it anger or frustration? It's very tiring, all this. It's nothing to do with any of that. The freshness is going because of this. Just forget it. Because all the reports are not true at. Because why not true? Because we say that this happened to me and this has been happening to me. No, it's not been happening to you. Not the real you anyway. They have been dancing in front of you, these things maybe. But you cannot truly say that something has happened to me. So that which is the witnessing of all of this, to that nothing has ever happened. But if there's an expectation that some feelings will stop and only the nice stuff will come, then that is also not true. Everything is allowed to come and go. When you know that you cannot suffer from anything, then will you pick and choose on what should come or not? No, everything is welcome. So don't be concerned about these sensations, this emotion, the sense of constriction. What is it constricting? Can it constrict awareness? That which watches constriction cannot be constricted. So allow all these ideas about yourself and what is happening to you to get dissolved in the light of your own seeing. And you can see right now that nothing is happening to the seeing. Therefore, anytime we say that something is happening to me, we picked up the wrong me. That awareness that is aware of all of this movement, what is happening to that one?
I'm aware of what you are saying a lot, and especially in the morning. As soon as I wake up, the thermometer is there immediately, and I start inquiring, and some kind of tension is coming, and I get it's getting blurred somehow. So it fades away. This you know, the mind is coming from all.
Yeah.
So I get, yes. So I'm confused, and nothing is working.
It's actually.
And then I try to see. Oh, you just watch this. Someone is watching this.
Yes. Yes. Then.
And it's just a thought in my mind that something, because I have heard it so many times. So it's not, at that time, it's not felt inside. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And yet, even the thought that something is watching this is also watched by you.
Yes.
So that which watches this thought and watched all the mind attack. Many times it happens like this, that the mind wants to catch us early in the morning. As soon as we wake up, the full-fledged attack can come like this.
Mm.
But mind can come like this. Energies are coming, constriction is happening. And the mind itself is coming and saying, but there is something that is watching this. So what happened to that one which is watching all of this?
Yes, it's a thought. Looked at.
Yes, by what? Looked at by what?
There it's becoming subtle for me.
That's also,
Sometimes,
this is also a thought looked at.
yes,
It's simpler than this. You see, it's simpler than this.
yes,
I'm simply saying that whatever the thought might be, you are the direct witness of it. Nobody else has to come and tell you you are witnessing this thought, isn't it?
right.
So this witness, what happens to this one? Can anything happen to this one?
No, it just is.
Huh?
It just is.
It just is. Yes, it just is. Now, any thought, any mind, any energy, can it affect this witness?
No,
Can you push the witness aside?
no,
It not be there?
no,
Can you create some distance between yourself and this?
no.
Yeah.
No, suddenly it's so clear.
Yes.
I am that.
Yes. You see. So now this that you are, it is not resisting, it's not wanting any specific experience, it is not suffering from anything which is coming and going.
Mhm.
Already you are this one. It's
Yes,
that simple, you see, it's as simple as this.
yes,
It just is what you are.
yes.
That the difficulty would be trying to not be this. You see, so when you say, I feel like myself is going away, if that was possible, then we would be in trouble. Because actually, all that is coming and going, you are witnessing as the witnessing itself. Where do
It's
we have to go to
yes,
find
yes.
this one? Nowhere.
It's here, and suddenly it's an opening in it's a lightness experience here. Thank you, Father. I will come back.
That's also a thought.
Yes.
Even when you come back, you cannot be anything other than this awareness itself.
No, I know. Thank you.
Thank you. If you drop all effort, all ideas, all wanting to be something, don't even try to be. Don't be aware. Don't witness anything. Can you do it? Don't understand. What is here most naturally, most effortlessly, what is already here. If you keep aside everything, everything is kept aside. That which is seen is kept aside. That which is experienced is kept aside. What is it that cannot be kept aside? Can you keep yourself aside?
The presence is here.
Presence is here. And you are aware of the presence. You say the presence is here. The presence does not say you are here. And this cannot change. There's nowhere we have to go. No emotions we have to feel or not feel. No thoughts that we must believe. You cannot become something other than what you are. There is no thinker of thoughts, doer of actions, or sufferer of experiences. There is just appearances of thoughts, actions, and experiences. Therefore, find out what you are actually only means to see what I am right now. Am I that which is seen? Or am I the seeing itself?
Now I'm very aware that I'm the seeing itself, but very often I struggle with it, that I try to find that the awareness is a kind of entity, and it's not. I know it and I see it now, but this it's very often it comes that I'm aware that I'm trying to find find something. I try to find the awareness, which is impossible to find, because yes, I am the awareness.
Yes.
So yes, I'm. It's like this.
It is impossible to find as an object, impossible to find as a phenomena. Cannot find awareness. This is why it is trouble for the mind. That is why the mind cannot discover the self. See? But for you, it is impossible to lose. For awareness to lose awareness is impossible.
Yes.
And that is why when I say, are you aware now? You find yes. Awareness is here, and yet I cannot paint a picture of it. I cannot make a diagram of it. Is it not a thing that I saw? It is not phenomenal. It is just what I am. Before even the sense I am this awareness itself. Like you said, the presence is here. The I am is here. You are aware of it. The I that is aware, even of I am, is the unchanging one.
Yeah. You know, I have heard these things so many times. So for me, I'm getting more and more aware of it's so important to check all the time, to check inside, because it's so since I have heard it so many times, it becomes a kind of label, so sentences which are floating around like that. Yes, that's okay, and you know, but you have to check all the time, otherwise you lose yourself in this.
Yes, you can, after hearing these things so many times, what can happen is that just the mind comes and says, yes, I know this, yes, I know this. This one, oh, nothing new in this. You see? Oh, he's still on the same thing. He took a break for so many weeks and he still got the same 3 pointings. It could
Yeah,
be like that.
right. Yes.
You see?
Exactly.
But if you just use them to just check, that's why we call them pointings. You see, they point. By themselves, they mean nothing, but they point to what you are. But if we mistake the direction, the arrows themselves to be the destination, and we start collecting these arrows, you see, then that doesn't help. That's what the mind wants to do. It wants to collect these directions.
Yeah.
But the best news for us is that the destination is where we start. So all that we are checking is that where have we started from? Who is here already? That's all.
Yes. Right.
I'm very happy that we started our satsang. We can't really call it a season because it goes across all seasons. But we started satsangs again on this note where we are just deeply immersed in the self-inquiry. And may it continue to be like this, where the truth of what we are becomes so apparent that it becomes almost impossible to believe the mind's voice. Okay, couple of questions. One is Anilji is here. Anilji says, did Papaji initiate Muji Babaji? Does initiation with name required? What I would like to say is that here how it flows is that this river is flowing. So the river called Papaji was flowing, and Guruji Mujiji went and drowned himself in that river. That is the initiation that is needed. Now, Master is a river that was flowing, and the one that was here is dissolved himself into that river. That was all the initiation that was really needed. All the name and no name, all of that is separate from this. And yet this name thing can be very beautiful, but it's not a prerequisite. Just can come from this sense of saying that even how the world refers to me, let that also come from my master's mouth. So, and the meaning is that I have handed over my existence to you. Now everything is your problem. That is the true meaning of a name request. It's not just some novelty or something that we play around with. Oh, I love you today, so I'll use your name. I don't love you tomorrow so much, so I don't use the name. These kind of things. And it's truly clear that my life is only my master's property. Then we must request a name. Only then. Actually, that's a good point. That reminds me that I've completely lost track of all the name requests that I had before the season. So, so if any of you have that, you've made that request, please forgive me for that, and just remind me, send me a reminder, and we look at it again. Ashima says, Father, if only I believe in the thought that I am free, is it enough to set me free? No, not even this thought. Because we have to see for ourselves who we are. Simpler than believing this thought is to check for who we are. The mind doesn't agree with this. That's why very often I say that if all I did was replace the concept I am a person with another concept like I am God or I am free, then it is still conceptual. You must be able to see what is here is free, it cannot be bound actually. This seeing is enough to set you free. To see that I have always been free is enough to set you free. The thought I am free is still referring to you as Ashima or a person. And that which never existed can never be free. Thank you, Stephen. Shivani wanted to say something. You can say, my dear.
Hey, Carl.
Little louder.
A couple of things.
Couple of things.
Sorry? Is that better? Okay. Okay. I can't hear you though. I can't hear you. Anyway. Okay, there's a couple of things, like when you were just talking about awareness, this thing came like, if the mind isn't able to, you know, agree or know awareness, then how do you know it? But then it feels like it's just everything, the identity of all the appearances drops away. It feels like this is how, like, you know yourself. It's not so much like a knowing, like the normal way that we know things. It's like you lose. It's like you lose this sense of being an appearance, and naturally you feel like you know who you are. Like you, yeah. So I just wanted to say that because it feels like that. It feels like here it just feels like the dropping away of all these, the appearances being who I am. It feels like I can't say like mentally I know who, you know, that I'm awareness. Like it feels like the mind is saying that, but it feels like, just feels like a natural thing to be aware. And it just seems like the fog kind of clears and you're just aware that you're aware. So it's hard to say like, yes, I know I'm aware, because it feels like the mind is saying, you know, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. But it's something like that, like this. I don't feel like I can report because it feels like it's the mind picking it up.
Yeah.
And I can't hear you muted.
So the reporting can seem like it is coming from the mind. But before the report, it is already seen that I am aware, isn't it? Even the reporting is coming from the mind you are aware of. Whatever is happening or not happening, who is aware of it?
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Yeah. This I.
But without reporting that, you're aware of it. Like without saying.
The reporting is not important. The reporting is not important. The seeing is important. That I see that only I am aware. As what? As awareness itself, not as a Shivani, not as an entity, not as a thought, not as an emotion, not as being also ultimately. I am aware even of presence. So this I that is aware is awareness itself. The reporting is not so important.
Yeah. Just there still is a little bit of loyalty to listening for the confirmation from the mind. You know, like it's like, yeah, you've got it, or yeah, this is, you know, but it feels like that isn't needed. You don't need that at all. But it keeps coming. It's like it wants to be involved.
It wants to be involved, yes.
But it's also, yeah, it's also an appearance. It's also. But it just feels good not to talk too much at the moment, because it feels like things are getting picked up by the mind. Like, things are dropping. Like I can notice that the play is still happening, but there's like Ruji says, the fan is still spinning, and but the power switched off, because things will happen like in this. Something will happen, but and there's this feeling like, I really want to be angry and I'm not angry enough, you know? Like anger is happening, but it doesn't feel like there's enough anger there. It's like, something wants to get properly angry, you know? Or sad. It's like something wants to get really sad. Even though there's crying happening, it seems from the outside. Inside it's like, why isn't it working, you know? So things are dropping, and it's like just naturally awareness is more aware of itself because of that. Things like that.
This is good.
Yeah.
We can no longer take these things seriously when they happen. And that's why it seems like, why is not happening enough?
It's really frustrating to something, like to the mind, obviously. It's like, this is just not working. I'm not, you know, like one lady told me off about Charlie running away, and I was getting angry with her, but part of me was like, she doesn't know how angry I am, you know, because it's not happening properly. But it's like something is still playing, but something isn't playing anymore, like that. So yeah, it's not, yeah, that was pretty much it. Just it feels like it's natural. Yeah. The mind picking up the reporting, like, you know. Yeah.
And in all of this, who are you? We knew it was coming eventually.
Well, you know, without just saying I'm awareness, it seems like if I don't pick anything up, I'm aware that I'm aware. If I don't try and, like you ask me, and it's like if I don't try to give an answer, you know, I'm aware. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky here, Father, because the mind is still trying to get.
Even when you try to give an answer, you are aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what is appearing or not, you are aware. This is unchanging.
Yeah. Right. I wouldn't be able to. That wouldn't. And nothing would be able to happen.
I'm aware of you only a blur. I'm aware only of clouds, and yet you are aware.
Yeah.
It's never about the content. You see.
So what is it? Just the mind? Like you ask me, and then there's this like, oh God.
Yes.
You know, like.
Yes, but you are aware of.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if.
Even of this reaction.
But it says it's like I don't know if I can say. It's just a mind that's saying I don't know if I can say that I'm awareness, isn't it?
Yes, you know that the mind is saying this.
So
you are aware of it.
Yeah.
This entire year, I'm not going to leave this point.
So it feels like.
10 months of satsang we have now.
Well, it feels like, Father, when you ask me. Sorry. It feels like when you ask me, I don't know. It's obvious.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you also very much for being in satsang today. Sadguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai.
Jai.